who was directing and coordinating the presidential elections. You have not produced a single piece of independent evidence supporting your claim that neither party won the elections. Simple question.
My Lord, I need to understand what independent means so that I can proceed to answer the question. Independent by way of NDC's own collated figures, or what type of independence?
The carbon, you see, as you know, all the documents that the EC was using to, collate the results from the polling station right up to the regional center, you had carbon copies of them, don't you?
Yes, we do.
And I'm saying that you have not put together your carbon copies to show that indeed nobody won the elections.
Yes, my Lord, because that is not the purpose of our petition.
So you say what is not the purpose?
I'm saying that we did not come to court to come and take over the work of Electoral Commission, but we are entitled, if we see the results are flawed, they are not born out of the data, we are entitled to challenge and to insist that we must have a credible results and a declaration that is based on the votes that were cast at the polling stations.
That's okay. I'm saying that you have not provided any basis of your own for your call for a runoff.
No, my Lord, we haven't brought that data here. We didn't consider it necessary to our case to bring any such data here.
You see, do you know why you haven't brought any such document? It is because all the documents you have, all the authentic documents on the election that you have, show that the second respondent had won the election, so you can't bring it out.
That is not so, my Lord, because we produce documents that will support the case we bring to this court. And if the case we have brought to this court is not about coming to retabulate figures the way MPP chose to do in 2013, and we do not need to bring those figures here. We are judging the first respondent by her own Bible. Okay. So the figures that she claimed were the figures that were generated and the conclusions that were drawn. We are saying that the conclusions are not born out of the figures she herself has presented.
So, Mr. Sedin, I'm saying that indeed your claim for a rerun between the second respondent and the petitioner is based on the verbal slip made by the chairperson of the first respondent in mentioning the total votes cast rather than the total valid votes cast as a basis of determining the percentages.
My Lord,
do you understand the question?
Please ask if you think I don't understand it. Can you repeat it?
Yes. I'm saying that your claim for the rerun is based on the simple slip, verbal slip, that the chairperson of the first respondent made when he was declaring the results, in using the total votes cast rather than the total valid votes to determine the percentages. Is that not correct?
My Lord, we disagree that it's a verbal slip. Now, because a verbal slip in reading out figures would have meant that you read one figure instead of the other. But from subsequent corrections that the first responders sought to bring up. The figure she mentioned and the correction that was made was not related to the figures of the day at all. Because if you have maybe total votes cast in one column and then total valid votes in another column, it is possible that you read total valid votes for total votes cast, but they will be the same thing. So when you come back to allege that it was a verbal slip, we expect that the correction that you made will relate to the figure which you thought you were reading. But the corrections that they claimed were made did not relate, the so-called corrected figure did not relate to any figure that was on the face of the declaration in the first place. So it was a new figure also introduced. So it couldn't have been any verbal slip.
You see, Mr. Nketia, you know, as an experienced player in elections in the Fourth Republic, that you determine who wins the presidential elections based on the total number of valid votes cast. Do you know that?
Yes, I do.
And you know also that it is completely impermissible for anyone to use the total number of votes cast as a basis of determining the percentages. You also know that?
Yes, I do.
Now, you also know that if you listen to your exhibit A, that is the press conference declaring who won the elections. If you tabulate the total of all the votes obtained by the 12 candidates, you will get 13,121,111 votes. Is that not correct?
My Lord,
not correct.
That figure was nowhere in any declaration.
No. Listen to the question. I'm saying, if you tabulate the results obtained by each of the 12 candidates and sum them up, you get a total of 30,121,111. Is that not correct?
My Lord,
is that not correct?
As per the figures released by the Electoral Commission, that is correct.
Okay. Now, you see, therefore, that being the case, you are not permitted to use any other number to calculate the percentages.
My Lord,
no, it's a simple question.
I was not involved in the calculation leading to the declaration.
The cross-examination, you don't trade questions with the lawyer who is cross-examining you. He prefaced I remember when he was coming to this, he said, you are a veteran in elections, and you admitted yes.
Yes.
Who in Ghana doesn't know the role you have played?
Yes,
Yes.
my Lord.
That was why he is trying to cross-examine you. Don't try to, go wayward as if you are engaging him.
Yes, my Lord, we are all learning. So, I'm sure if my friend met me in Parliament, it would be a different story. So,
Mr. Nketia, you admit that it is completely wrong for anybody to use the total votes cast as a basis for determining the percentages of the votes obtained by the different candidates?
Yes.
Yes. And anybody who does that, his position cannot be accepted anywhere in Ghana.
Yes, my Lord.
You see? But that is precisely what the petitioner does in paragraph 16 of his petition. You can check it and read it out to the court. And then there 16.
Yeah, paragraph 16.
Read it out.
Consequently, if all votes of the Chiman South constituency were added to the petitioner's case, votes, second respondent's votes will remain the same at 6,730,430, now yielding 49.625%, while the votes of petitioner would increase to 6,342,907, now yielding 46.768%.
And you see that in paragraph 15,
I read paragraph 15.
yes,
the Techiman South constituency has a total registered voter population of 128,018, and if added to the total valid votes announced by Mrs. Jean Adukwe Mensah as cast, i.e. 13,434,574, the resultant figure would now be 13,562,592.
you see, I'm putting it to you that the figure 13,434,574 does not represent the total valid votes obtained by the 12 candidates if you do the addition from the announcement, the declaration in your exhibit A. It doesn't.
Can you come again, please?
I'm saying,
I want to hear the question.
I'm saying that if you do your addition of the votes obtained by each of the candidates as declared by the chairperson of the first respondent, what the sum you get is not 13,434,574. It is not.
Yes.
If you like, we'll give you a calculator. I'm saying that it is not the total valid votes.
My Lord, yes, it's not the total valid votes, but we are not claiming that that was the total valid vote. This is a response to the statement made by the first respondent herself as the basis for the declaration of the results before taking into account the Chiman South votes. So we are again judging her by her own Bible.
I don't have a problem with that. But therefore, you cannot use what you know is factually incorrect and not permitted by the rules governing our election as the valid vote, total valid votes cast. You can't use that. Even if the EC made that mistake, you can't use that as a basis for your claim.
My Lord, as I sit here, I don't know the total valid votes really cast. All the figures are coming from the first respondent, and that first respondent keep changing those figures.
Mr. Nketia, my question is, please answer my question. Your answer being the case that the 30,034,434,574 is not the total valid votes. That you've admitted that. You can't, I'm putting it to you that you can't use that as a basis, as a denominator for determining the percentages. You come to that, Beku. Why are you behaving like that? Yes. Answer my question.
Go ahead.
Answer my question.
Come again, my lord.
I'm saying that you have admitted that the 13,434,574, that the chairperson of the EC announced is in fact not the total valid vote cast, and that if you do the tabulation of the actual numbers votes obtained by each candidate as declared on 9th December, you find out that it is 30,121,111. Yes, I'm just trying to help you understand. Okay, and therefore, it is impermissible for you to use this 30,343,574, even if it was used by the EC chair, to determine the percentages.
My lord, both figures are coming from the same source.
I didn't ask you the source. I'm saying it is impermissible for you to use it as the total valid vote cast.
If the first respondent declares it so, it must be so.
So you see, then if the first respondent declares that the second respondent is the winner, it also must be so.
No, my lord, because that is why we are here. My lord, if the first respondent declares that these are the figures, we are entitled to rely on those figures. And when we find out that the figures are internally inconsistent, we challenge her conclusions, and then we come to a forum like this.
You see?
Or otherwise, I have been a banker. When a check is written,
please,
and there are problems with the check,
please,
not one signatory can cancel. You bring it back to where the check was written, and all the signatories will cancel and make the corrections. We have stated that we were not part of any attempt.
Now, you see, I'm putting it to you that you use this erroneous figure as a basis for calling for your rerun. That's what I'm putting to you. I'm saying that you use the erroneous figure of 30,434,574 as the basis for calling for a rerun. That's what you use. Whether it was used by the EC or not, that's what you use. Good. Now, so can you answer?
Yeah, come again.
No, you said, what was your answer?
What was the question, sir?
So I'm saying that you cannot use the manifestly erroneous figure or wrong figure of 13,434,574 as the total valid votes cast to determine the percentages of all the 12 candidates, and in particular the second respondent and the petitioner. That's obvious.
That we cannot use an erroneous figure. I want to get the question well before I can give you an answer.
This is the third time I'm asking you.
Yes, please do.
You cannot use that wrong figure as the total valid votes cast as a basis for your claim that there should be a rerun between the second respondent and the petitioner.
My Lord, that is not the only basis for the...
No, please answer my question. I didn't ask you what other basis. We'll go step by step.
Yes, my Lord.
Good. Now, you admit that in paragraph 2 of your... You admit that the petitioner has been a member of the NDC since its formation in 1992. Since its formation, the NDC's formation in 1992.
I beg your pardon, you are referring to...
Is that not so?
You are referring to...
The petitioner. Okay. You don't know when...
No, I want to, with the permission of my Lord, refer to the paragraph you are quoting.
No.
No quoting.
I'm asking you a general question.
Yeah, he's been
but if you think you need to, refresh.
Yeah, he's been a member of the NDC.
And naturally, he was the NDC's presidential candidate.
Yes, my Lord.
Now, indeed, in your paragraph 2 of your witness statement, can you read?
Yes.
Your paragraph 2?
Yes.
To the whole world.
I'm the General Secretary of the National Democratic Congress, the political party on whose ticket petitioner contested as candidate
of the NDC. You are the coordinator of the general and they report to you. In that capacity. For relevant information as to how the election was run. Is that not so?
Yes, my Lord.
So, I believe the person has trust in you, and that together with the strategic role you play in coordinating the activities of agents of the petitioner during the elections, he selected you to give evidence in support of his case.
Yes, my Lord.
Now, you remember that when the President of the Republic in July 2018 appointed the current chairperson of First Respondent, your reaction as General Secretary to the appointment was that you were shocked and disappointed because second respondent was a known pro-MPP person. First respondent was a known pro-MPP person. The chairperson of the first respondent is a known MPP person and an anti-NDC person. That was your reaction.
Yes, my Lord, those were my words.
Indeed, when the first respondent announced that they were going to compile a new voters register, your party, the petitioner, and you in particular, you strongly resisted sin, alleging, among other grounds, that first respondent and the president were colluding to compile a new register to rig the elections. That's what you said.
Yes, my Lord, and we have grounds to say so.
And indeed, the NDC, of which you are General Secretary, went to court to stop the compilation of a new voters register.
Yes, my Lord.
And even when the plan for registration was unveiled, you denigrated it, stating that it was calculated to favor the second respondent.
Yes, my Lord, and events subsequently vindicated that position.
You see, I put it to you that you and your party, including the petitioner, viewed the chairperson of the respondents with jaundiced eyes and had a predetermined position on her alleged lack of neutrality.
My Lord, we viewed her accurately and saw the reflection of her in our eyes, and that was the basis on which we made those statements.
You see? So, it is based on this unfounded prejudice that you have against the first chairman of the first responder that you are doing everything to discredit the elections.
My Lord, I have not said anywhere that the prejudices are unfounded. I'm saying that they were founded on solid facts.
Now, you see, I want you to look at Exhibit 4 attached to the first respondent's witness statement. That's what I said.
Respectfully, I think we're back to the same problem. Is it going to be put as an identified document or what? Because
now, I'm suggesting to you for purposes of identification for the time being that this is the official Form 13B, that is the Declaration of Presidential Election Results National Summary Sheet. Have you seen it?
I haven't seen it.
Look at the first respondent's witness statement and look for exhibit 4.
My Lord, respectfully, it is for the counsel to put to him whatever document he wants to put to him. It's not for him to look for a document. I mean, what is this?
First respondent's witness statement is not in evidence. It's not in evidence yet. Yes. Yeah.
My Lord, my first time of seeing this document was where it was filed.
Very well.
We were never even, I never cited it anywhere.
Yes.
I've never signed it. The agents at the strong room don't have their signatures here. And the announcement, the declaration that was made on the 9th did not relate to any of the figures that I'm seeing here.
We'll come to that. You will relax. So you look at the percentage, the total number of valid votes obtained by the second respondent. What is it on this document?
On this document,
Yes.
I can see 13,121,100.
You see, you've also made an error. I said the total
valid votes.
obtained by second respondent.
Oh, okay.
You see, you have made a mistake.
Sorry. Yes, everybody is capable of making mistakes, but there are established ways of correcting every mistake in every situation in life.
Please go on. Now read to the court the total number of votes obtained by the second respondent.
This document, yeah, the witness can be made to be reading numbers from a document that is not in evidence.
My Lord, my purpose. Yes. So, very well. Very well. So you will see, Mr. Nketia, that each of the votes attributed to each of the 12 candidates on this document is exactly what the chairperson of the first respondent declared on 9th December. That's the significance. It's the same.
The document
You
is
see,
not with me.
but that's the problem. You see, you You.
Mr. Akotampa, you have to be patient.
Very well.
Both of you can speak at the same time, or you lose
My Lord,
us.
I'm well advised. So I'm saying that in your witness statement, you have attached a video clip of the declaration by the chairperson of the first respondent.
Yes.
Do you want it to be played so that you can refresh your memory?
Yes, my Lord.
Very well.
I mean, the videotape is attached to our evidence. At the appropriate time, it can, my Lord, it can be played. But my Lord, we need to understand what is the purpose, because we cannot just go on in this manner. When a document that we have tendered in evidence, they are going to determine when it is going to be played. Is that the procedure of this court?
Because you see, there's a problem with this witness statements which has been introduced. Yes, you see, what we normally do, as you've done in this case, is for you to exchange the prospective exhibits. At least they have a fair knowledge of the exhibits which you intend to tender. Equally so, they also have a fair knowledge of the exhibits which you may tender. So that is why probably you attach it, not to take them by surprise. Yes, and they would want the court to have, the witness who had it annexed to the witness statement to identify it. And I think
Yes.
Please. Now,
I think
I think that the issue is that counsel for the second respondent is showing the witness another document, their document, and he's saying that some information on this document that he's showing him is the same as the information that you have exhibited.
Yes, but my Lord, respectfully, that document, he has said he saw for the first time.
Yes, but you can still ask him.
Why is material from that document being used as if it is in evidence? It is not in evidence.
He just wants to show you your own exhibit. If I remember correctly, he wants to show you your own exhibit.
He himself has tendered that exhibit. And so, I mean, if he's going to be asked the question about it, the question can proceed. But he's saying that he wants that exhibit to be played at a certain time. And
no, because he said he doesn't remember the contents.
No, my lord, he did not say that. He said he was looking for the document. That's what he said.
Okay.
He didn't say he was not.
Okay. So let him find it, and then we proceed.
My lord, I think that it is preposterous for counsel to say that evidence that he has tendered, I cannot ask the witness to look at that evidence and ask
question. Not come to that. We are resolving this matter.
No, but my lord, this objection has no basis. Very well, my lord. My submission. And he's saying that they have not played it yet, so we cannot, when they have finished their evidence in chief. My lord, no, very well.
I think
Mr. Kotampo, could you kindly remind me which exhibit were you referring to?
They are exhibit A.
Mr. Sidon Ikete's exhibit A.
Yes, my lord.
All right. Thank you.
To have your witness statement. Yeah, is it not attached to your witness statement? Exhibit A. It's not the petitioner's. Yes.
The election was conducted in 38,622 polling stations across the country and in 275 constituencies. I'll now turn my attention to the reason why we are here. At the end of a transparent, fair, orderly, and timely and peaceful presidential election, the total number of valid votes cast was 13,434,574, representing 79% of the total registered voters. Permit me to present the results in the order of appearance on the 2020 presidential ballot. At the end of the polls, Nana Addo Akufo-Addo of the New Patriotic Party obtained 6,730,413 votes, being 51.595% of the total valid votes cast. John Dramani Mahama of the National Democratic Congress obtained 6,214,889 votes, being 47.366% of the total valid votes cast. Christian Kwabena Andrews of the Ghana Union Movement obtained 105,565 votes, being 0.805% of the total valid votes cast. Ida Kabila-Greenstreet of the Convention's People's Party obtained 12,215 votes, being 0.093% of the total valid votes cast. Madam Kofi-Addo of the Ghana Freedom Party obtained 5,575 votes, being 0.042% of the total valid votes cast. Henry Herbert Lati of the Great Consolidated Popular Party obtained 3,574, being 0.027% of the total valid votes cast. Hassan Ayariga of the All People's Party obtained 7,140, being 0.054% of the total valid votes cast. Percival Kofi Apanu of the Liberal Party of Ghana obtained 7,690 votes, being 0.059% of the total valid votes cast. David Asidi Akesera of the People's National Convention obtained 10,887, being 0.083% of the total valid votes cast. Bridget Acosta-Jigoniku of the Progressive People's Party obtained 6,848 votes, being 0.052% of the total valid votes cast. Nana Konedo Ajiman-Rawlings of the National Democratic Party obtained 6,612 votes, being 0.050% of the total valid votes cast. Alfred Kwame Aisiedu Walker, independent candidate, obtained 9,703 votes, being 0.074% of the total valid votes cast. Distinguished ladies and gentlemen, currently the election results we have declared exclude that of the Petition South constituency, which has a total voter population of 128,018. The said election results are not ready because they are being contested. As such, collation has not been completed. It is important to note, however, that the difference between the total number of votes between the first and second candidates is 515,524 votes. As a result, if we were to add the 128,018 full results to the results of the second candidate, it will not change the outcome of the election. Hence, our declaration of the 2020 presidential results without that of Petition South. Indeed, if you were to add the entire results, or to collate all the results from the Petition South constituency and add that to the percentage and the votes of the second candidate, Mr. John Dramani Mahama, he would obtain 47% of the total votes cast. And Nana Budanka Akufo-Addo would obtain 50.8% of the total votes cast. It is on that basis that we say that the outcome of the election will not change. Hence, our declaration of the 2020 presidential results without that of Petition South. Distinguished ladies and gentlemen, on the basis of the foregoing election results, and by the power vested in me as the chairperson of the Electoral Commission of Ghana and the returning officer of the presidential election, it is my duty and honor to declare Nana Akufo-Addo as president-elect of the Republic of Ghana.
And the election for giving us a working majority in Parliament. One.
So, Mr. Nkatia, you can see that the figures that each of the 12 candidates obtained as announced or declared by the chairperson of the first respondent in her press conference of 9th December are exactly the same as the figures on Exhibit 4.
Lord, I repeat my objection that Exhibit 4 is not in evidence. We cannot be making reference to the content of Exhibit 4.
It is not coming from the witness in the witness box.
No, Exhibit 4 is not coming from the witness.
Okay.
Exhibit 4 is not coming from.
Oh, okay, I see you.
It's not in evidence, and we cannot have its content just being smuggled in when it is not in evidence.
Yeah. My Lord, no, I see your point. I thought it was the exhibit which...
I thought he identified it earlier on.
But he said he was seeing it for the first time when it was put in the answer of the respondent. He said so. He didn't identify it.
Then lay the proper foundation.
Very well. My lords, in any event, I'm putting it to you that the figures obtained by each of the 12 candidates in what is attached to first respondents' witness statement.
Mr. Kutofa, why don't you limit yourself to what the witness has tendered and which has been shown to us?
All right. So, Mr. Nkatia,
What is you going to say?
I'm putting it to you that if you do the maths, which you do so, of the valid votes cast or obtained by each of the 12 candidates, you will get a total of 30,121,111. Yes, very well.
About 1 hour ago.
So, can you tell the court what is 6,730,413 as a percentage of 30,121,111? Give him a calculator.
he said.
What is the votes, the total valid votes obtained by the second respondent, namely 6,730,413 as a percentage of the total valid votes in the whole election, which is 13,121,111.
That number is still being taken from a document that is not in evidence. That is still what he's doing, and it's not acceptable.
This is exactly.
Exhibit A.
This is exactly.
That's what the chairperson announced. That figure was what the chairperson announced.
We had it, 13,430 something. We had it.
All the numbers provided obtained by the 12 candidates adds up to something. That's 3,000,001.
What she stated, and what she stated was that the total number of valid votes cast is 14,434. That's what she stated. We all heard it.
She stated all of that. She also stated figures for each of the countries. And this question add that one to come to a certain and then asking to do the percentage in relation to
my Lord, if we can go, we can listen again and take down all the numbers that she actually pronounced and make sure, but we cannot use a document that is not in evidence. We can.
He has admitted the figure. The witness has admitted the figure. He has admitted the 13.
My Lord, that number is coming from our witness statement. Yeah. Our witness statement indicates, our witness statement is actually yes, that figure. Yes, that is right, and that's why I'm saying that if he's answering in terms of what we have put in our witness statement, of course that's correct, but he keeps going back to his exhibit, and that's... No, I don't want... I'm not suggesting that. I mean, I have watched it many times, but if your lordships want to watch it again...
No, the figures, you are disputing the figures. In your exhibit...
My lords, I'm saying that in our own petition, we have given this figure, and indeed, that is a matter that will become very clear in time. But in our own petition, we actually had this figure. So that was what the witness was referring to. That's what the witness was referring to. And that he can be cross-examined in relation to it. It's just that we are not talking about an exhibit, something that is not in evidence.
My lords, with all due respect, I'm hearing some very strange submissions this morning. My lords, if I may be heard. my Lord, counsel for petitioner is suggesting that we can only question the witness on things that are in their witness statement or petition. Is that the suggestion?
You're saying that Exhibit 4.
I'm not using Exhibit 4.
So then
I'm using what was that broadcast a few minutes ago, the numbers.
Exhibit A.
Yes, that's what I'm using. Unless counsel wants to suggest.
It's appreciated. It's appreciated.
No, but my Lord, counsel is always interrupting.
It's appreciated. It's appreciated. It's appreciated. Let the witness answer.
I'm saying, Mr. Nketia, that from the video attached to your witness statement as Exhibit A, the total number of valid votes cast in favor of the second respondent is 6,730,413. Is that correct?
Yeah, I would like to take the question again. Yeah.
I'm saying that from the declaration in the video clip that we just saw, it really is the basis of all your case, and you should know what is in it. The total number of valid votes that second respondent obtained is 6,730,413. Is that correct?
That's correct, my Lord.
Good. Now, the total number of valid votes that the petitioner obtained from the declaration announcing the Exhibit A is 6,204,889.
That is so, my Lord.
And it goes on to the very end in the announcement. I'm also putting it to you that if you do a sum of all these valid votes, yes. So can you tell the court what is 6,730,413 as a percentage of 30,121,111?
My Lord, it's 51.29453 ad infinitum, so it can be rounded up to 51.295.
Very good. So 51.295%. Not so.
Yeah.
Now, what about the petitioner? His total valid votes are 6,214,889. 6,214,889. What is this sum as a percentage of 30,121,111?
Lord, it's 47.365569 ad infinitum, so it can be rounded up to 47.366.
So you admit that from the chairperson of First Responders Declaration on 9th December, second respondent crossed the more than 50% threshold.
From the declaration as announced?
From the figures that we just calculated, these figures which were announced, if you do them as a percentage of the actual total valid votes, these are the percentages you get for the petitioner and second respondent. That's what I'm putting to you.
But we've fought.
This is what raises the difficulty. The previous question was the second respondent crossed the 50%.
Yes.
In recrafting, we change the second part. So kindly please the question as well.
Okay. So I'm saying that from the calculation of the percentages of first petitioner and second respondent clearly crossed the more than 50% threshold.
Well, if the figures are correct, yes.
From your own.
Now, again, you see that when you calculated the percentage for the second respondent, you came to a figure of 51.295. Not so. Yes, I'm just emphasizing it for my next question. Now,
yes, my Lord.
You notice that when the chair of the EC was orally proclaiming this, she said 51.592, not so. 592, please. That's what she said. That's what she said, not so.
I can't remember what she actually said. I think she said 59. I don't know whether
she said.
Can we play that?
Can we play it?
Looking back.
Okay.
But you use that argument to arrive at your more than 100%. So you know it.
I wanted to be played back.
To the results of the second candidate, it will not change the outcome of the election. Hence, our declaration of the 2020 presidential results without that of Techiman South. Indeed, if you were to add the entire results of collate all the results from the Petition South constituency and add that to the percentage and the votes of the second candidate, Mr. John Dramani Mahama, he would, the Liberal Party of Ghana, obtain 7,690 votes. The total number of votes cast.
Go back. This is not
434,000.
Okay, please.
Distinguished ladies and gentlemen, the election was conducted in 38,622 polling stations across the country and in 275 constituencies. I'll now turn my attention to the reason why we are here. At the end of a transparent, fair, orderly, and timely and peaceful presidential election, the total number of valid votes cast was 13,434,574, representing 79% of the total registered voters. Permit me to present the results in the order of appearance on the 2020 presidential ballot. At the end of the polls, Nana Addo Dankwa Akufo-Addo of the New Patriotic Party obtained 6,730,413 votes, being 51.595% of the total valid votes cast. John Dramani.
So you can see from the announcement of the percentage that an obvious error was made by the chairperson of the first respondent. Is that not so?
My Lord, your question was for me to admit that the first respondent announced 51%, 592
Yes.
instead of 295. But
It's
my Lord,
595.
that is wrong.
It's
She
595.
actually mentioned 51.595,
Yes.
not 295. That's correct.
So I'm saying that from the actual calculation of the percentage, which you just did before this court, that was an error. You agree?
Yes, the percentage announced was an error.
Yes. But the correct percentage shows that the second respondent had crossed the 50% plus threshold.
Well, if all the figures are to be believed.
Yes, okay. So now, let's look at the press release of 10th December, which you have attached to your witness statement as your Exhibit B. Now, I'm putting it to you that if you add all the valid votes obtained by the 12 presidential candidates, you get a total figure of 30,119,460. But that excludes Petition South, of course.
My Lord, I want to redo the...
You do the addition.
$30,119,460.
So,
Adjourn for about 20 minutes and come back.
very well, Your Lordship.
Yeah. Okay.
All rise.